Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Stacey West Preview Show. I'm your host, Jake Tong. Before we get started with today's Sky Bet League One match day preview against Morecambe, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subs by the end of 2022. I know you lot can do it. Anyway, Morecambe, as I said, we've got YouTuber and Morecambe supporter Hopi in the building. How you doing, Hopi?
I'm all right, you?
Yeah, we're a bit nervous, mate, going into Saturday's game. But before we go on to Saturday, now I've not had a chance to speak to a Morecambe supporter so far this season. Just tell us about the promotion last season. It was highly unexpected, you know, given the club had only fought bravely against relegation sort of the last 5 years prior to that. That must have been unexpected, but also probably the biggest high I can imagine.
Absolutely, it was rewarding. All I can say is to go from 2017-18 season, last game of the season away at Coventry, just to draw 1-1 and stay in the league by the skin of our teeth, to then last year going to Wembley in May, getting promoted and going up to a whole new league that the likes of Sunderland are in is unreal. It's something that a fan like me would only ever dream of. But it's actually happened to us. We're living proof of, well, the underdog story.
Yeah, absolutely. And that team was pretty special. Obviously, Gomez would have taken the highlights. Talk to us about that player final then. Obviously, it was a bit of a controversial penalty. I'm sure you'll even agree to that sort of gave
absolutely,
you the opportunity to go up. But talk to us about that team and your connectivity with it. You must have been able to really relate to those boys.
Absolutely, yeah. I was backing them the whole season. It was a season watching on iFollow. It was a weird season, I'll give you that. But other than that, it was an enjoyable season. Enjoyed it. Didn't mind too much staying at home and watching. It was a lot cheaper on my wallet. It was nice watching in the comfort of your own home, couple of beers, watching the games. But I'm absolutely happy to be back. And the fact that it was online sort of made us feel a bit distant from a few of the players. Yeah. We'd have liked to have been there, make a relationship. Like, I've got a good relationship with some of the boys now. Like, I'm really good friends with one of the lads. God, the name bloody escapes me now. Friends with I forgot his bloody name. Well, one of the ex-lads from squad. It's Alex Kenyon. I'm really good friends with him. And we talk a lot on social media. Unfortunately, he's not with the club anymore. He's not with any club at the moment. He's a free agent. I'm just hoping someone will come in and snap him up.
It's typical, isn't it, that Morecambe and Lincoln both have really good seasons. Well, that the crowds aren't able to come in. Obviously, you lost Derek Adams. He went off to Bradford. Disappointed with that, or was that something you were expecting?
The thing is, it was probably the worst kept secret in football that Derek was going to be going to Bradford. I said at the time, all the power to him. I wished him well. When we came back after Wembley and he was there. I wished him well, and we sent him on his way, head held high. Unfortunately, he isn't at the minute living up to Bradford's expectations, but he'll find it in his stride. Derek Adams he's a different type of manager. I'll give you that. Not many people will agree with some of the decisions he makes, but he's doing it for the right reasons. He's got the club in his heart. As if you don't agree with him, he's not gonna He's not gonna tear you to shreds.
Yeah, and the new man's doing. And the new man's doing okay as a replacement, isn't he? He's obviously. I know you guys are sat in the bottom four as of this very minute, but that's probably all you were expecting for this year, wasn't it?
The thing is, we've done really well. The fact that we're in the bottom four, it's unfortunate, but we're in a league we've never been in before. We're with heavy hitters in the league, and really, we can't really expect too much more. We've put all our effort in. As you can see against Wickham and the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, we put all our effort in against against the opponents at the games. That's all we can ask for from the lads. Just the placing is unfortunate.
Yeah, and what do you think about the gap in quality then between League Two and League One? It's very much sort of widely spoken that there's not that big of a drop in between, the top of League Two and the bottom of League One. What would you make of
There
that
isn't.
being a supporter that's just come up?
No, I think that's definitely true. There's definitely truth in that. The top of League Two were very, very similar to the bottom of League One. Like you got your likes of Fleetwood and Shrewsbury, who we've played before. Doncaster, who unfortunately have had a bit of a slip in recent seasons, being some of the top dogs in 2018-19, and unfortunately are looking to be relegated, unfortunately, to League Two this season. It just shows that some clubs can slip, but some can flourish. It's just the joy of football. It can happen.
And given that we're sat talking on the 7th of February right now, and there's still quite a high chance that Morecambe could be a League One team next season, what would you say the expectations are around the football club at this minute in time? Is it purely just to try and stay up and try and progress for the next season?
Yeah, I can tell you from a club's perspective, we are looking to be a substantially self-sustaining League One team next season. We've got the plans in place to still be in League One, and we don't expect to change that anytime soon. We're looking to stay up.
And if the club were to suffer relegation back to League Two, would it be a case of being one of the favourites, do you think, to come straight back up?
I could see us coming straight back up. Yeah, we've now got the backing of the fans. We've got a lot more fans that we had before, and that'll help us get the backing of the fans behind the lads. That'll really help us get bouncing back up.
And talk to me about the January window then. Trevor Carson coming in, Bennett from Gillingham as well. Trevor Carson is a name known to Lincoln City fans from the season we got relegated out of League Two. Do you think that perhaps you won the transfer window purely by the player that you kept, rather than the players that you brought in?
Well, it's a funny one. I'd like to talk about transfer window. All the signings we made were perfect for us. There wasn't a bad signing out of a bunch. Every single one was a good signing. And to talk about the elephant in the room, Stockton.
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't believe that not even one call came in for him. Robinson's been really very open about the fact that no club really called for him, at all. And I am shocked, because there was rumours about the heavy hitters coming in for him, and that sort of shocked me, because he was a top goal scorer for a long while. He probably still is. But it's just insane that no one actually came in for him, even to try and swoop him with even one little bit and get shot down. It's mental to see. Yeah,
obviously, given his goal scoring exploits this year, and it would be, it would be absolutely right that clubs higher up in the division were sniffing around Cole. But it would be fair to say also that it's not really worked for Cole anywhere else bar Morecambe. Do you think that would have been part of the risk assessment that these clubs were looking at?
Potentially, yeah. I think Cole's made for Morecambe. I think he's going to stay with us for a while. There's rumours of a contract extension, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is on the table. And when I meet Robbo tomorrow, I will be asking him if that's still on the cards. I'm hoping that he will sign it. I don't see why he shouldn't, because Cole, to me, is Morecambe through and through, and he seems to reiterate that in the way he acts around the club, which is just a Morecambe lad through and through.
And while Stockton grabs the headlines, and rightly so for his goal scoring exploits, as I sort of said, tell us about those sort of underdog members of the team that are doing just as an important job, perhaps at the other end of the pitch, perhaps supplying the chain for Cole to score all the goals.
The thing is, with our squad, I don't think there are any underdogs. I think all the lads are treated as equal. We all love the lads as much as each other. But for me, it's got to be Anthony O'Connor. Ant O'Connor has gone from strength to strength. He got a bit of flack early on in the season. Admittedly, some of it was from me as well, because I didn't see the lad for what he truly was. But I'm glad to say that he's proved me wrong. Ant O'Connor has become one of my favourite players, and he's definitely fit to wear that captain's armband. And just play for the club because he's proud. He does seem like a shrimp through and through. He harkens back to some of the previous players in our squad who filled his position, and I'm really glad to still have Ant O'Connor.
And obviously, you picked up a point on Saturday against Bolton. Quite a highly controversial game, given everything that went on surrounding Bakayoko. Can you just give us perhaps a little bit of insight as to what happened from your point of view?
At the minute, I can't really comment on things that have happened because I'm not too sure of the full facts. It's under investigation by the police. I'm going to let them do their job, and I just feel like it's not really my place to comment on things that are being investigated at the minute.
But on the pitch, a good point against the Bolton team that have really improved in recent weeks.
Absolutely. The club, the squad was just unreal that game. Every single member pulled their weight.
Disappointed to concede in the fashion and the manner that you did at the time that you did as well?
Absolutely, I am. But it was, I sort of could see it coming because it's Bolton. It's Bolton. They're the mid-table looking for promotion team. It was potentially going to happen. It was something that every fan should have been prepared for in that game. I was prepared for it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen throughout League Two and League One as I've been watching. And you've always got to predict that in football. You've always got to keep that mindset that you might not always get 3 points and might not always lose. It could happen. It's football. Anything can happen.
And let's talk about the game earlier on in the season between Lincoln and Morecambe then. A 2-0 win for Morecambe, probably one of our worst performances of the season, actually. But just from your point of view, was that, a really good sort of way to settle into League One and get some nice points on the board early, I can imagine?
Absolutely. It was a good game. You gave us a good run around. Really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. So who is some of your favourite players out of the squad? Who are some of your favourite players out of the Lincoln squad at the minute?
Yeah, I think we've got a few new faces in the building, especially John Marquis, obviously scoring a lot of goals in recent weeks. Just curious to get your thoughts on Lincoln, actually. You would have watched us the day before you went to Wembley lose our playoff final on the telly in heartbreaking fashion, equally as you guys put Newport through. But are you surprised to see Lincoln involved in this relegation scrap alongside yourselves, given last season?
I am actually, yeah. I really am. But as I mentioned before, like even Doncaster, to go from how they were doing back in 2018-19 to how we're doing now, it's, as I keep saying, it's football. Anything can happen, really. That's a thrill of a game. You can go from promotion fighters to relegation scraps like quite easily. Look at Sunderland. Look at the poor few years they've been through.
And any sort of plan? I know it was a long time ago now, but any sort of Lincoln players stand out that the day that you managed to sweep us aside?
Not off the top of my head, but I thought the squad was good as a whole. It was unfortunate that it was unfortunate you couldn't get anything back from it, but it's just how the game goes, isn't it?
And let's talk on, move on to tomorrow night. Then it's a really big game at the bottom end of Sky Bet League One. You can imagine a win for either team would give them a whole heap of confidence going into the remaining fixtures. So, how are we thinking Morecambe are going to come down and approach this game tomorrow night?
I think we're going to approach this as a must-win because we can't keep dropping points like this. We need to start getting points because I've been told that we need to end up on around 50 to stay in the league. So we just need to get as close to that as possible. Just need to keep building points on 50.
Seems like Hopey's back. Score prediction and Hopey. What are we thinking then?
I'm going to go 2-1. It's going to be a similar game to last time, but I think you're going to get one back.
So you think Morecambe are going to come away 2-1 winners?
I think we're going to come away with 3 points. Yeah, I like to be optimistic.
Fair enough. That's what we like to hear that on the channel. Anyway, Hopey, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Massively appreciated.
Honestly, you're very welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Very short notice. Anything you wanted to plug in? I know you've got a YouTube channel that you contribute towards as well.
Yeah, I've got my YouTube channel, Hopey's Football Adventures. That's on 212 subscribers at the moment. Trying to build it up and get it a bit bigger. We just have a Bolton match day video yesterday, reaching nearly 2,000 views at the minute. So I'm quite happy with that. Got the chance to meet Fogden and Fogdad as well at the game, which was quite an experience. Unfortunately, we did come away with a point, but I'll get them next time. I'll get them when we're away.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, as I say, thank you very much for coming on the channel at such short notice. Thank you everybody else for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the middle of the week for another preview against Morecambe. Thank you very much for watching.